You know what time of the week it is? It is our winners and losers for week 15. All right, Mario, I'm going first for my losers. My number one loser on this list is the New York Giants rushing. It was absolutely terrible through six players. They had 21 rushing attempts and 74 yards. That's it. That's it. And they lost to the Browns 20-6. I feel like if their rushing game was on its A game, they would have actually had a shot at that game. You and me said it was going to be a pretty close one, and it just wasn't. That just wasn't it. And I feel like the rushing is a big reason why they lost this game. 21 rushing attempts, 74 yards through six players. That is absolutely that's horrific. That is absolutely horrific. They need to work on that, especially if this is to the very they have a very underrated offense, very underrated defense. If this is something they want to this is something they want to consider moving forward. This is something they have to look at. That's not okay. You want to continue with rushing because I do. My number two loser on this list, the Jaguars rushing was just as bad, if not even worse. Four players, they had 22 rushing attempts and 62 yards. That's it. No more, no less. Again, same thing with the Jaguars. They're not like the Giants. They're already out of the playoffs. Well, I'm like, all right, let me go look through the stats, and I seen this. I was like, yeah, this has to be on here. If this team wants to improve moving forward, that needs to be fixed. 22 rushing attempts for 62 yards and no touchdowns. Which, by the way, same thing with the Giants. They didn't get a touchdown on rushing. You gotta fix that. There's just you can't be doing that, especially if you're a team that wants to improve moving forward. That rushing needs to be fixed. And my third loser is the Atlanta Falcons as a whole. You probably already know why they're on this list. They blew yet another lead. They led the Buccaneers by 17 points. Ready, Mario? Get this. They had a win probability of 95.3%. This isn't the first time this has happened. In fact, this is probably the fourth time, all right? Let me give you three other scenarios this year that this has happened. The blown lead they had against the Lions. They had a 96.6% win probability. Let me go to the Bears. They blew that lead too. A 99.3% win probability. Let me go to the Cowboys. This is even better. 99.9% win probability. I don't know what it is with this team, Mark. This team has so much talent, Mario. Matt Ryan may not be the same, but he still balls out. Julio Jones, same situation. Todd Gurley, Zach, same situation. They got all this talent. There's so many more, but those are like the top three in my head that I can think of. And I don't know what's up. Now, they got rid of Dan Quinn. Now that he's gone, they're still. I don't know what's up with this team, dude. I'm not particularly sure what's going on here.
Well, I'll say this before I get to my losers. One of my losers is actually connected to all three of your losers, and it's kind of weird. So, like you referenced the Giants and the Jaguars and how like the rushing game wasn't the best, and so you called them losers. And then you referenced Atlanta and how they blew that lead. Well, you know what? Let's combine those. Let's combine those three, and let's combine those three to make one loser. That is the Atlanta Falcons rushing. Okay, you thought your rushing was bad. Let me tell you something. 13 rushes, 37 yards, and no touchdowns. That's what the Atlanta Falcons rushing did against them. And I always say it, Nate. I don't know how many times we have to say this. The worse your rushing game is, the more pressure it puts on your quarterback.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, I got to give credit to Matt Ryan because Matt Ryan did a good job.
He actually played a really good game.
Yeah, for somebody who didn't have a rushing game at all that game, he did a very good job in putting points in that board. It's just unfortunate that like the end, he just couldn't make anything happen. But that rushing game, it has to be better. You cannot get 37 total rushing yards from four running backs. Yeah, unnecessary, unacceptable. Now going to number two, the Lions defense. Let me tell you what they did. They let go of 273 passing yards, right? 3 passing TDs, okay? 195 total rushing yards, 3 rushing TDs, no forced fumbles, and no interceptions.
Oh.
Look, let me tell you something, man. I know the season's almost basically over for the Lions and like a lot of other teams too, and the Vikings are definitely on that list if they can't straighten stuff out. But come on, man. Like really? Like Lions you can at least make a statement win. You get what I'm saying? Right. If I'm over here, if I'm a coach and my team is out, right? I'm not tanking. Okay, I'm saying, look, if we can't make it to the playoffs, we're going to ruin everybody else's chances of making it to the playoffs. We're going to make it even more harder for them. That's my mentality. Right. That's our playoffs right there, making everybody else road to the playoffs tougher because we didn't get there. Simple. And they didn't do that. Okay. Detroit's offense wasn't bad. I think they scored like 25 points or something like that. I can't remember. It wasn't bad, but that defense was horrible, man. They like 45 points, man. Like,
That's terrible.
oh no, was it 40? I believe it was 21-45. I think that was the score. Like, it's just unacceptable, Nate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just unacceptable in the NFL, especially from a defense. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions and defense ends up getting put in a bag for this. Um, Third loser I have. I'm sorry. I got kind of distracted over there. My bad.
Okay.
The third loser, the Los Angeles Rams. Why are they my loser? They lost to the Jets. Do I have to say anything else? Like, do I really have to give stats? They lost to the Jets. Right there, you're a loser. I don't need to give any stats right there. Told you the Jets are going to get one win this year. I said they were going to get one win this year. I didn't think it was going to be Los Angeles Rams defense. But let me tell you something.
Man.
Look, I got to give credit. Sam Darnold, Frank Gore, they stepped up, and defense even stepped up for the Jets, and they made good plays. So credit to the Jets. And I got a bonus loser, too. Taylor Russolino, the kicker for the Denver Broncos. Let me tell you what this man did. 0 for 1 on field goals, 1 for 3 on extra points. Total of 1 point that whole game. Look, man, like I'm getting tired of these kickers getting paid millions of dollars, okay? Talking about how you're the best in your sport. Your reference is the best in your sport, and you're doing this stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Like, we're not professional kickers. Don't get me wrong. We're not professional kickers. So like, we won't take on $1 million paycheck to go kick a football into a field goal that we know we can't kick. Don't get me wrong. Kicking is a lot harder than I think people make it out to be.
It is.
Like, you know, like I don't think me or you could kick 50 yards.
Okay, I can't even kick a yard, let alone never mind 50 yards.
Yeah, like especially at accuracy in general. But like when you're getting paid millions of dollars, all right, and you're just wasting money. I don't know if he's getting paid millions. He just got signed, I think, recently. I think that's the guy who just got signed from the XFL, I believe. I believe it is. Let me do some research. I'm gonna do some research right now before I continue with my statement. Yes, Taylor Russolino. He was an XFL kicker. He's like the first. I think he's like one of like the first XFL kick. I don't know. I think he might be one of the first XFL kickers of last year to get into the NFL. But come on, man. Like 0 for 1 and 1 for 3, man. Like, come on. You gotta play better. And I said the same thing about Dan Bailey, but honestly, I don't know what the problem is.
Yeah, I don't know either. I already summed up the Falcons. As for the Lions defense, again, like I said, bless you. Like I said about the Giants and Jaguars, if you really want to improve this team, you gotta step up, and nobody's stepping up, and that's a problem. As for the kicker, you basically already summed up what I was gonna say. As for the Rams, though, let's go to my Week 15 winners. You ready for this, guys? Guys, ready. Give us a round of applause for the New York Jets. They finally won a game. I love it. They're my number one winners this week. I never thought this would happen, but they actually did it. I'll give them their credit. They played a decent game. They're my number one winners this week. But all jokes aside, though, I will say this: because of that win, they probably jeopardized their first overall pick.
I agree.
You and me were talking about this. Now I think about it, it's actually true. If the Jets lose out for the rest of the season, and the Jaguars might end up paying the first round pick only because of how their stats are probably worse than the Jets. But with that said, they won a game. That's something we said they would do. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's probably the only time it'll ever happen. Anyway. My number 2 winner on this list, even though he didn't win this game, he played a really damn good game. Jalen Hurts. I thought you were going to put Kyler Murray on your list, so I ended up putting Jalen Hurts on here. He went 24 for 44 completion attempts. I could be a little better, but he also had 338 yards and 3 TDs. He had 11 rushing attempts and 63 yards and a touchdown. So overall, he had over 400 yards total and 4 total TDs. I mean, they won this. They may have lost this game, but he's stepping up. And you and me were talking about this off camera. Like Carson Wentz wasn't doing good with the same as that team. Jalen Hurts is doing 10 times better than him, and he's turning things around. This could be Jalen Hurts could have a potential future with Philadelphia. And the game before that too. The game before he had that with the Saints. He had a really good game with that too. So he's really showing some shining and lighting. My third winner is Devin White, but you have him on there too, so I'll let you talk about him. 'Cause I have a bonus winner on here.
I decided at last second not to put Devin White, so you can talk about him.
All right, I'll put Devin White on here. Let me tell you something, man. For a team that was losing by 17 points in the first half, this man stepped up, and I feel like he's one of the biggest factors to why they won this game. Ready? 11 tackles, 3 sacks, 4 tackles for loss, and 2 passes defended. That's defensive player of the week status right there. I don't know about you, Mario, but he might end up winning the NFC defensive player of the week with just with that. He stepped up for that defense, and they needed that, given that they were down by 17. He stepped up and he did his job. And you know what? Kudos to him.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree. I agree with you. I mean, Devin White, he's probably going to get defensive player of the week, no doubt about that. Again, and he was very clutch against the Atlanta Falcons, especially towards the end. I remember he had like a very clutch sack again on Matt Ryan to give Tampa the ball back. So I got to give him credit. Devin White played a good job, and him and Levante David, I think, might be the best linebacking duo in the league. It's like between them and like KJ Wright and like Bobby Wagner, and then like maybe like Kendricks and Anthony Barr when they're healthy. And I might be missing some, but Zadarius Smith and Preston Smith, I also think is very good, or Roquan and Khalil Mack. You got a bunch of linebackers in the NFL who are very good, but they're definitely up there with Levante David and Devin White. I think those two are probably the most underrated linebacking core in the league, especially Levante David. I don't think he gets enough credit that he should. But anyway, going back to your winners, you had Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts played a very good game. I think he's doing very good with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they definitely found their franchise quarterback that they were looking for in Carson Wentz, but they could never get the full. They got a full potential year, 1 year. He was a top 3 candidate for MVP, and he got hurt. So after that, he wasn't the same. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's not Carson Wentz's fault. I really don't think. I think he was plagued by a lot of injuries, and they just caught up to him, and he couldn't do a lot. Jalen Hurts, on the other hand, so far, it's looking good. But again, I mean, I hope, knock on wood, that doesn't happen, because I never want to see any players get hurt. But you never know with the NFL. You know what I'm saying? We always talked about these guys being these mega stars, and they were unbeatable and unstoppable. Looking at, you go back to Gronk, you go back to Rob Gronkowski, you go back to Cam Newton. George Kittle, I think it's about to get there too. We talked about them as being unstoppable, and then they got hurt, and it slowed them down.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, I hope that don't happen to Jalen Hurts, but the future is looking very bright for him. And I think if he can keep his body healthy, I think that's the number one thing for an NFL player is to keep your body healthy, or any athlete. If you can keep your body healthy and you can perform at a high level, then I think Jalen Hurts is going to be the future quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's going to be up in that list with like Michael Vick and Donovan McNabb, Randall Cunningham, and all of them, Ron Jaworski. So I mean, Jalen Hurts had a great game, and your third winner, I believe, was the New York Jets. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Look, we got to give credit to New York Jets, man. Sam Darnold and Frank Gore, they played a good game, man. Defense played a good game. They stuffed the Rams to 20 points. I mean, they played a good game. We can't. There's nothing else for us to say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and they might be losers at the same time, because now you don't get Trevor. Now you went from Trevor to Justin Fields, and don't get me wrong, Justin Fields is a good player, but I don't think he's Trevor.
Right.
So, but now let me get to my winners. So, number 1, hate to put him on here, but you know what? He had a good game, and I can't deny it. David Montgomery, he ran 32 rushes, 146 yards, and 2 TDs on my Minnesota Vikings. Look, David Montgomery, he annoyed me yesterday. I'm gonna be real with you. He annoyed me, man.
Hey, he put up points for me on fantasy.
He did a very, very good job. He did a very good job, David Montgomery. He had a better night than Dalvin Cook, so I got to give him credit. And Dalvin Cook had I think he had like 130 something yards. So like he really outperformed Dalvin Cook. So I mean, credit to David Montgomery. He did a very good job in giving the Chicago Bears a win. He was the reason why they had 33 points on that board. He was a big reason for it. Number 2, Derrick Henry. Look, I have 2 running backs on here. Derrick Henry went 24 rushes, 147 yards, and a TD. It's not surprising. We expect this out of Derrick Henry, but on the other hand, he did play a very, very good game, and I got to give Derrick Henry his credit. I mean, he was the reason why the Lions defense just couldn't do anything. And last but not least, Deandre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins had 9 receptions, 169 yards, and a TD. Look, DeAndre Hopkins is slowly turning into the best wide receiver in this game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I think it's him, DK, and maybe Stephon Diggs. That's my top 3 this year. I'm being real, but I think he's definitely up there. And DeAndre Hopkins, bro. I mean, credit to him. Credit to him for continuing to be great on a different team. Because some guys go to a different team and they're never the same. So credit to him for keeping that mentality, realizing who he's actually playing for and why he actually plays, and credit to him for just continually putting up numbers consistently.
Yeah, man. Let me review your winners real quick. David Montgomery. I was gonna actually put him on my winners list, but I ended up choosing Devin White instead. Yeah, man. I mean, he plays good at a very underrated running back, and he put up 30 useless points for me on fantasy because I'm getting eliminated. I have 2 fantasy teams. David Montgomery's on one of them, so he put up 30 useless points for me because I'm getting eliminated within the next week. So, I mean, hey, it's whatever, man. 30 points, I'm fine by that. Derrick Henry, Derrick Henry's Derrick Henry. What can I say? Best running back in the league, hands down. It's just there's no doubt about it. Is he in the top for the MVP?
He should be. I think he might be top. I think he should be top 5. I mean, I know right now it's Rodgers and Mahomes battling get out, but he should definitely be in the top 5. I think Derrick Henry or Dalvin Cook, whichever one ends with the rushing title this year, I think they can. I think you could put one of those 2 in the top 5. Actually, let me be real with you. I think both of them deserve to be in the top 5.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Derrick Henry and Dalvin Cook are both equally as great this year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
one's not having 200-yard games, the other one is. And the other one's having – and Dalvin Cook, I think, has more touchdowns than Derrick Henry. He's got more like 20-plus yards than him. So, I mean, both of them are insane.
Yeah, right. And as for Derrick Henry, thank you for crushing my hopes and dreams on my second fantasy playoff run. I went from being the best team in the league to being eliminated in the first damn round. So thank you so much for ruining my hopes and dreams. Anyway, no, I'm just messing around. And I kind of expected my team to flop like that. But anyway, that's what happens when you have Russell Wilson as a starting QB. But anyway, on fantasy. And your third winner was, I believe, Deandre Hopkins, right?
Yes.
Like I said, I mean, I agree. He's the top 3 wide receiver in the league. He's definitely turned out to be one of the best ones. And the Houston Texans are definitely regretting their decision to trade this man off. That was a big, big mistake. And now he's becoming the best wide receiver in the league. I agree with you. I can't say any more with that.
So oh, my bad. What were you going to say?
Oh, no, you can go on.
Look, man, now looking at this trade that they made, they traded DeAndre Hopkins for a burger and fries. Let me be real with you.
Dude.
A burger and fries. The burger was David Johnson. The fries was the 3rd-round pick. That's it. You could have got a lot. The Vikings took 4 picks from the Bills for Stephon Diggs, I don't think Stephon Diggs is better than DeAndre Hopkins this year. And the Vikings took more for him. So honestly, bro, and they got Justin Jefferson out of it. So we got an unlimited dinner plan, and then the Bills got like a 10-year dinner plan, right? But the Texans, bro, they got a burger and a fry for one day, and then after that ate it, and now they're done.
Hey, it's true though. They're regretting that decision hands down. I mean, I would regret that if something like that happened. But anyway, that is our winners and losers for week 15. We hope you enjoyed it.